Bayern, just days after signing Luis Diaz from Liverpool for a whopping 70 million euro deal, we are now trying to sell players from our squad, and I am not in agreement with how the club is moving for the rest of this transfer window. And this is coming off the back of today's news that Tottenham have fully confirmed signed Joao Palhinha from Bayern today on a season-long 1-year loan deal. And this is not necessarily a player I wanted Bayern to give up for the season. I thought he brings something different to the Bayern midfield, a different option off the bench or a different option to start games, depending on the opponent. We'll talk about all that in the video. And after the sell of Palhinha today, it is crucial, you guys. It is so important that Bayern keep Kim Min Jae for the up-and-coming season. I do not agree with the reports that are also coming out that Bayern could be looking to sell Kim Min Jae this summer if the right offer comes by, and Kim Min Jae might be open to the move if he does not see a route to the starting 11 at Bayern. So we're going to talk about all that today. It's your boy Hokage. Let's just get into it straight away. Deal done with Tottenham. Joao Palhinha. Poor guy. Honestly, with Joao Palhinha's situation at Bayern, I really believe he never got a fair shot. He never got a fair shot. He also came into a very difficult situation, right? He was supposed to, or Thomas Tuchel, when he was at Bayern, was trying to bring in Joao Palhinha during the winter transfer window. It did not happen. Tuchel gets sacked after going trophyless. The club still continues to go and sign Joao Palhinha, even though he didn't match what Vincent Kompany's system needed. It seems like Vincent Kompany didn't really even want a Joao Palhinha, but the club continued and followed through on the failed winter transfer and still brought Palhinha to the club. And I just felt like ever since he came last summer, he really hasn't gotten a fair shot in the team because his style of play doesn't really mesh well with what Vincent Kompany wants. He can never really be a starter in the Bayern team because Bayern, with what Vincent Kompany is trying to do, with his tactical setup and how he wants Bayern to play, we don't need an out-and-out defensive midfielder that is only good at the defensive aspect of the game in midfield. And for that, he really never got a fair shot. And even when he did play during the last season, I felt like he could have gotten more minutes in some games. Yes, he got unfortunate 2 times this season. He missed an absolute sitter when he basically robbed Musiala of the assist of the season against Leverkusen in the round of 16 in the Champions League. And he got that one red card in the second half of the season. And a lot of Bayern fans seem to really turn on him, but he's a professional. He didn't complain at all the last year. He, up until this signing, had clearly stated that he wants to try and earn his spot in the Bayern team, but it seems that with the World Cup coming around as well, and he is 31 years old, he wants to play football and make that Portugal World Cup side for 2026 next year in the summer. So this is a good move for Palhinha. He's going to go to Tottenham, and he for sure will get minutes there because he can become a crucial piece of the puzzle for Thomas Frank and his boys as they try to capitalize on their first trophy that Ange Postecoglou won them last season in the Europa League. But these are the details of the deal, season-long loan deal. Tottenham will have the option to buy. It's not a mandatory option, or it's not a mandatory buy. They have the option to buy Joao Palhinha, and it'll be worth up to 30 million euros. So if that does end up happening, which Bayern won't be looking to keep Palhinha after this loan deal, I don't know why we just didn't sell him. I don't see why. He's not going to fit. I think the Bayern board and Max Eberl made it a loan only in case they might need to recall Palhinha during the season in case we have an injury crisis, or if things don't pan out with Vincent Kompany this year and we bring in a manager that does want a Palhinha in his team. But other than that, he will definitely be sold after this loan ends with Spurs. And if it's Spurs, that would be good for us to recoup 30 million euros from a 50 million euro signing fee that we gave to Fulham when we initially signed him a year ago. And big positive here as well, full salary covered by Spurs for this season. So for me, this from the logistical aspect of it, it makes a lot of sense for Bayern and it makes a lot of sense for Palhinha. I just Personally, I wanted us to keep Palhinha. I reiterated this on my channel the last month or two during this summer transfer window. I just think he brings such a unique profile to the midfield that you never know. A guy like him can be so crucial to closing out games, to playing more defensive at times. He could be a nice profile to play against teams where we won't be able to dominate, where there'll be 50-50 games. I don't know. And I also feel like he just kind of got done dirty with his move to Bayern because he was very happy to come. He was very happy to come to the club. He was very excited. Things just didn't pan out. And I feel bad for him because he's a good guy. He's a top professional. He keeps fit. And no complaining or anything. He just tried to work his way into the squad and it didn't pan out. And now Tottenham get him on a season-long loan deal for next season. And I think it's a good deal for all parties involved. So it's not the biggest L. It's not the biggest L. Something I do want to touch on, though, with Palhinha being sold is that's one less midfielder. So does this mean Bayern will go into the market and bring in a cheap midfielder to replace Palhinha because we're missing a midfield depth player now. We're missing a midfield depth player. And with Palhinha gone now for a year to Spurs, our only true midfielders in the team are Kimmich, Pavlovic, Goretzka, Tom Bischoff. You could throw Leimer in there, and you could maybe throw in Rafa Guerrero in there, but really 5, 6 players in midfield. And take away Leimer, who's probably going to be the starting right back, you have 4 players. 4 players. And they're all not the same profile, but they're all kind of all-rounder midfielders. We don't have a specialty guy in the midfield anymore. I mean, you could say also Kimmich is a specialty guy because he's a specialty, like, he bosses the game with his passing and everything. But in terms of the defensive side of the game, we don't have someone in midfield that excels fully and is fully focused, and their expertise is in interceptions, defending, tackling, blocking passing lanes, interrupting counterattacks, tactical fouls, dirty work. We don't have someone. So does this mean we're going to go into the market now and sign maybe a young player from the Bundesliga who won't expect a lot of minutes, but would be a good squad addition and is at a certain quality where they could come to Bayern and have an impact off the bench? We'll have to see. But it doesn't seem like the club is going to do any kind of deals for an extra midfielder this summer. But this deal just happened. The Palhinha deal just was confirmed today. So we'll have to see over the next week or two if any reports come out from the club about a new goal in the transfer market this summer, which would be to bring in another midfielder into the squad. I feel like it would be beneficial if we did. It would be very beneficial. Or we bring up someone from the academy, from the FC Bayern 2 team. That is an option as well. I'm sure we have some guys up there that can come into the squad and just act as a quality squad player. So yeah, Palhinha is gone, but with Palhinha leaving, our squad is a little bit thinner, and reports did come out the same day today that Kim Min Jae is also a candidate for sale. Apparently, Kim Min Jae is also a candidate for sale, and I am completely against that. I am 1,000% completely against Kim Min Jae leaving Bayern. Now, I'm not showing the report on the screen. The report on the screen here is that Kim Min Jae wants to recommend himself in preseason to get his starting spot back. If he sees a chance to be a regular starter, then he would like to stay at Bayern. And what I would say to Kim Min Jae is, with him fully healed, with his Achilles tendons gone, his Achilles tendon issues gone, there 1,000% is a pathway for Kim Min Jae to earn himself back into this Bayern team. I reiterated it last season all the time. He's playing through injury. We're overworking him. It's criminal how many games Kim Min Jae is having to play because of the injuries in our squad. Ito, Upamecano being injured for the end of the season. Stanisic having some injury issues. Like, it's criminal how overplayed Kim Min Jae was and not able to rest his Achilles tendon, one of the most important tendons in your body as a professional footballer. So I have a ton of love and respect for Kim Min Jae for playing through that while also playing through the somewhat misplaced criticism that he'd get. He's passionate about the club. He's shown that he's willing to risk his Achilles tendon for this team and put his body on the line. And with him fully healed now, I would tell Kim Min Jae there is 1,000,000% a path for you back into the starting 11, because although he is going to be benched by Ta at the beginning of the season, something that's so important, and this is a little bit of the tactical side of the game for Vincent Kompany and the system. An important aspect of being a defender in this Vincent Kompany team for the style he wants to play, and not just Vincent Kompany, but for a highline team that wants to dominate and be high press, win your duels, win the ball back, 5, 6, 7, stop counterattacks. One key attribute you need to have is the ability to defend the channels, the ability to run with opposition attackers at full speed, the ability to get caught out but recover with your pace. That's something Jonathan Tah lacks. Now, Jonathan Tah is no slouch. He's not a slowpoke. He's not peak Per Mertesacker, let's be honest. But Kim Min Jae, compared to Kim Min Jae, Ta is a slow center back. Kim Min Jae is one of the fastest center backs in Europe, one of the fastest top center backs in the world. And if we start this season and the season progresses and Vincent Kompany and everyone sees that Ta is getting caught out on the counters, Ta is not defending the channels well enough, at least for us, Kim Min Jae, that would be his opportunity to break back into the team, get his chance, and play a couple perfect games with Upamecano, which we know he can do. Him and Upamecano have had very long stretches together where they have such a harmonious relationship in the back. There's absolutely a path for Kim Min Jae to get a starting spot back at Bayern, and I hope he realizes this. But obviously, with reports coming out today as well, like I said, apparently Kim Min Jae is a candidate for sell, and he's a candidate for sell if a good offer comes in. And if Kim Min Jae ends up not seeing the pathway back to the starting 11 for Bayern, apparently he's fully open to the move. But so far, it seems that the only team that's really inquired about Kim Min Jae so far is Al Nassr. And for what I know about Kim Min Jae, remember, Kim Min Jae is a late bloomer. He's playing in the Turkish league just 3.5, 4 seasons ago. He was playing in the J League, Chinese league, he was playing in the J League 6 years ago or something like that. He's a late bloomer. He doesn't want to just throw his career away at the top right away to go get a paycheck in Saudi. He wants to achieve things. I know that. So we must keep Kim Min Jae. And you have to think about it. And I really I understand that even in the Bayern fan base, people's perception of Kim Min Jae is kind of timid to negative. I love Kim Min Jae. Even though he had some hiccups last season again, you have to realize the physical strain he was playing through. The courage it took for him to go out there and play with such a crucial part of his legs on the cusp of just snapping at any moment. You have to respect that. I want players like that at Bayern with that mentality. Kim Min Jae's mentality goes under the radar. I want players like that. And when you're looking at the center back depth across Europe, there are not many backup center backs as good as Kim Min Jae. I'm going to keep it a stack. I know people are saying there's this narrative that, Kim Min Jae had one wonder season at Napoli when they won the league. No. Kim Min Jae is still quality. Kim Min Jae is still, in my opinion, when he's on form, one of the best center backs in the world. Now that he's going into the season healthy, he just has to earn his spot back into the team, which is very much a possibility if Jonathan Tah's weaknesses are exposed. And he can prove to Europe, he can prove to the world that he's still that guy. He's still that guy. So we must keep him. And especially with us selling Palhinha, we have to keep him because we just can't keep thinning out the squad more and more as the transfer window is coming to an end, especially at center back. Because at center back, we have Upamecano, we have Ta, but then we have Ito, who we don't know after coming back from his last metatarsal fracture. We don't know if he's going to be another injury risk. Will he come back and just get injured again? We don't know. So Ito is a big question mark. We have Stanisic, who can play center back. He's solid. He stays fit. And then we have Kim Min Jae. But if you take Ito out of it and say he's injury prone, you have 4. And if you sell Kim Min Jae, you have 3 center backs. 4 including Ito, but I'm really concerned about his injury issues. I'm very concerned about Ito's injury issues. So if we do sell Kim Min Jae, which I am fully against, he can have a huge impact at Bayern this next season. I really believe in him. But if we do end up selling him, like the Palhinha situation, we need to be in the market for a center back. We cannot rock up to the season with realistically, we can't walk up to the season with 3 natural center backs. Stanisic is a makeshift center back. He is naturally a right back. So we can't just go into the season if Kim Min Jae leaves with 3 natural center backs. We will need another center back to come into the team. So we'll see what happens, but I really do believe Kim Min Jae should stay at Bayern. And apparently, and I think we all know this anyway, Vincent Kompany rates Kim Min Jae very highly. And it seems that behind the scenes, Vincent Kompany is vouching for Kim Min Jae and does not want him to be sold. And he's trying to convince him to stay. So all the signs for me point that Kim Min Jae probably will stay at Bayern, but I'm not ruling out the sell of Kim Min Jae. And I would really be very disappointed if we sell him. I would be it would be a huge mistake. Huge mistake. So that's the news for today. Palhinha gone for the season. Kim Min Jae, potential candidate for sale, but Vincent Kompany, big fan. Kim Min Jae wants to earn himself back into the team. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the news for today. Transfer news keeps coming. We'll see what happens. I think there's like 3-4 weeks left in the transfer window. Maybe less. Actually, like 3 weeks, maybe. I don't know. It's coming down to the wire pretty quickly, and we need to bring in some more signings at Bayern this summer. So it's been your boy Hokage. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.